Move over, Kulvtaroth. The real Monster Hunter waifu is in town, and she's ready to spit everything on her head. Lunesta is here, guys, and with that, she brings 42 new weapons and some new armor pieces. And new armor pieces always brings new possibilities, and brings new Mixed Armor Showcases. Mixed Armor Showcase is a series where we go over armor sets where we just go over different armor sets and like mix sets and do all that kind of stuff where we just build sets that you can be personalized to your own personal taste, do the damage you need to do, and have fun with the game. Because at the end of the day, having fun with Monster Hunter is the biggest thing, and getting to hunt those monsters and just get those feel-good moves in and all that kind of stuff. So, where do we get these sets? You're probably asking. Either me or my crew comes up with them, or you guys can submit them. You guys can submit armor sets to Mixed Armor Showcase to be featured on a channel, of course, with all credit going to you. So what do we have today? We're focusing on Lunesta. Lunesta brought tons of great new blast weapons, which was something we were missing in the game previously. We had blast weapons, but all of them either had negative affinity, or they just weren't good with power and all that kind of stuff. And part of the new Lunesta weapons also come with built-in skills, which is super nice. So, some of the things we're going over this week is some of the new Lunesta parts. In most of these armor sets, I am using the hammer for them, but they can be changed and augmented to fit most weapons as, again, you can play Monster Hunter multiple different ways. You can give up certain skills if you don't need them, or these are just base sets. A lot of them have, a lot of these sets, I have 3 different sets for you today, and a lot of them have the same base skills, different armor pieces, but they also have like other throw-in skills that just make the experience better or change the way you experience Monster Hunter. So, without further ado, let's get into it. In the first armor set we go through, this armor set is probably one of my favorites out of the 3. They all of them hit a lot of critical, and they have that critical boost and all that kind of stuff. So they're hitting for a large amount of power, especially with the hammers. Like I said, you can also use these with other weapons like the Great Sword, the Lance, any other thing like that, because the good thing about these Lunesta weapons is they all come with natural white sharpness. So if you don't want to, if you want to use Protective Polish as one of your throw-in skills, you can do that, and you have base white sharpness that can last a pretty long time. So you don't even need to put a lot of handicraft. You can, but you don't need to, which is one of the best things that comes with these. Also, these comes with blast weapons, and a lot of them come with either 0, 10, or 20 affinity, which are all huge. In all 3 of these ones, I'm using the Emperor's Mace Stick, which comes with a base 10 affinity, 240 blast, 936 base attack that can be boosted farther past that, white sharpness, and comes with the skill Razor Sharp, which Razor Sharp was an underrated skill in this game, mostly because you needed a specific armor set to use it and all that kind of stuff. And it was just kind of, unless you got the gem for it or something like that, you're really hurting. But this allows you to have it in a weapon, which allows you to make that white sharpness go even farther. So another thing about the cool Xenodiva mix of this weapon is you get a lot of awesome slots. So it allows you to do a lot of different works when you're building sets. So the first armor we have has the Nergigante Helm Alpha, the Kulvtaroth Ire Alpha, the new Empress Vambraces Alpha, the Emperor Coil Alpha, and the Dante Leather Boots Alpha. These are all alpha pieces. That's absolutely crazy, because usually when you think of alpha things, you don't think of many slots. But with the newer sets and all that kind of stuff, you're going to see more slots coming out with those as well. We're also using the Attack Charm and the new Temporal Mantle, as I call it, the Ultra Instinct Mantle. So looking at the skills, we have a lot of skills on this set, and some of these can be pushed even higher. I just don't have all the gems for them. Like, we have attack level 6, which can be, again, pushed to attack level 7. We have Lunesta's Favor. So Lunesta's Favor does increase the stamina cap. Now, this won't activate as soon as you walk out of the gate with your food buff skills, because the way food buff skills work, like, if you just eat the top menu item, the one that gives you the 50 stamina, 50 health, you will not see it right away. But if you instantly eat a rations or a well done steak, you'll instantly see that stamina cap go up, which is super nice. Good for high intensive stamina weapons. Not so, it can be useful for the hammer if you're wanting to charge up and hit, but most of the time you're not going to need that extra stamina. It's just nice for chasing after monsters, stuff like that. We have attack boost level 6, which can be pushed up to attack boost level 7, which does give you that crazy plus 21 base attack and, plus 21 attack and 5% affinity. We have blast attack level 3, pushing it up to plus 20% on the blast buildup and plus an extra 10 bonus. We have critical boost, pushing that critical dealt by a critical hit by up to 40%, so you do 140% crit instead of 100 base 25% crit. So you're just doing absolutely massive amounts of damage with that high attack boost with the crit. You're running weakness exploit, which gives you an extra 50% affinity while attacking weak spots. And we have maximum might, increasing your affinity when your stamina is full by 30%. And with a hammer, a lot of the moves you do, you can charge up moves, but a decent amount of the moves you do don't need stamina. Even when you do the roll down the hill and the spin to win, by the time you're actually, if you space yourself properly, and by the time you're hitting the monster with your rollout attack, your stamina is back to max, so you're getting that extra affinity as you're spinning through, even when you're not hitting the weak spots. So that's super nice. We have a throw-in skill, but a good skill as well. You have stun resist 2. Now this just comes from having some of these armor pieces. Stun resist 2 gives you reduced duration of stun by 60%, which is huge. It doesn't prevent stun, but when you get stunned, it does reduce the time you are stunned, which can save your life. You have critical eye level 2, which gives you that extra 6% with the attack and the maximum might, and the 10% there. You're hitting 6, 5, that's 11, 30, 35, that's 36, and I'm sorry, wow, I can't math. 41, 41, and then the 50% from, I'm not doing math, 30, 40, you're hitting 51 before you hit weakness exploit. So when you're hitting those weak spots, you're hitting critical hit 100% of the time, getting that extra 140% damage, which is absolutely insane. You have wide range level 2, so when you use certain items, you will be able to heal up your team a little bit, so those max potions, those potions, all that kind of stuff will a little bit affect your team. It won't always happen, but 33% of its efficiency will be used, which is super nice. Just like not as like a necessary skill, but when you're facing something big and dangerous, whenever you being able to heal your teammates whenever you heal is just an extra thing. Also, you have Tool Specialist level 2, so it shortens the time reduced to use your mantles, your stuff like that, by 10%, which is absolutely cool, especially when you have the Vitality and Temporal Mantle. It keeps you safe a lot longer than you need, so just being able to be safer for a shorter amount, or more amount of time, actually, is amazing. You have French Free level 1, which prevents knockbacks, which is always awesome when you're a hammer user and you're playing with something like with a dual blades user or a lance user who just kind of likes to trip up. You have that flinch free that helps you prevent knockbacks, and then you of course have that razor sharp that comes from the weapon, which is absolutely insane. So that's the first weapon. Like I said, all of these weapons are going to have the same base skills with the high attack, the blast, and stuff like that, but their extra throw-in skills really can tailor to how you want to play. Like I said, this one's more of a, like, it has wide range and tool specialist, allows you to stay safe and do what you need to do pretty much the entire hunt, which is pretty cool. So let's move on to the next set. Sorry, before we move on to the next set, I did forget to talk about the jewel, the decoration placement. We do have the Mighty Jewel in the hammer, and as well as the Tenderizer, pushing those things up to their max. We have 2 Expert Jewels in this set, 2 Attack Jewels, a Critical Jewel, and a Brace Jewel. All to give you those extra skills, pushing them up a little bit farther. I do have an open slot, like I said before. This is to push that attack up to level 7, just to give you the 21 attack, and just gives you that massive attack, which really pushes the Emperor's Sticks a little bit farther and allows you to get that max amount of damage out. So let's move on to the next set. This next set is actually stupid similar to the last set I just showed you, so we're not going to go over it too long, but it does actually, it hits harder than all of them that I've shown you. That might be because it actually has the attack to level 7. I'm not 100% sure. The math doesn't work out super properly for it, but it does look like it hits harder than the rest of them. This one's built more if you don't have more than 2 attack gems. So this one can actually be used if you want to gem in that level 7 without having that extra attack gem. You do lose out on the new Empress skill, but we're rocking the Nergigante Helm out beta this time. The Kulve Taroth Alpha, the Empress Vambrace's Alpha, the Nergigante Coil Beta, the Dante's Leather Boots Alpha, Attack Gem, again, same weapon, same Temporal Mantle, and Vitality Mantle. You're using the mantles and stuff like that because you're hitting that crit, so you don't need the affinity. It is nice if you want to help your teammates out a little bit, but this is more, the mantles with these extra skills we have definitely helps out. So, looking over this set, we don't have any of the flavor skills, or favor skills, the flavor skills, but we are rocking that attack boost level 7 like we were talking about in the last one, but you don't need as many attack charms or attack decorations in this set as you do. We're rocking that blast attack level 3 with that 20% buildup and that plus 10 bonus as well. We have the crit boost level 3, again pushing that critical hit just up. This set is a little bit more reliant on the maximum might. Actually, no, it's just as much as the other one, but it's pretty nice. We have the critical boost, like I said, level 3. We have the weakness exploit, giving that an extra 50% bonus. We have maximum might, pushing that up automatically by 30% when your stamina's full. We have stun resist, level 2, which again prevents stun being weakened. Like I said, a lot of these skills you're going to see a lot of in between these two sets, but this set, the difference between this one, switching out the waist piece allows you to have that extra skill, but it would require you to have one extra space for the attack gem. So, like, if you have the attack gem, I'd say go for the other one, but this one can be made with less items and stuff like that. So this is the one I definitely suggest if you don't have everything. We're going to slip over to the decoration side. Again, looking at this, we only use 2 critical, we use 2 attack gems, Mighty, Tenderizer, Brace, and critical. The brace can be switched out because the brace is honestly just giving you that flinch free, which I think is always necessary and really nice to see on a hammer set again, because the way the hammer works is you're getting kind of hit around a lot because your slow swings and stuff like that. So I just like to throw it on there, but you can also throw a protective polish on there. You can throw 1 level handicraft if you have that on there, just to push your white sharpness up just a little bit more. So that's this set. Pretty standard, pretty awesome. Again, like I said, it was pretty close to the last one. That's why I went over it quickly, but we have one more set for you guys, and here it comes. So this set's pretty awesome. It does change the stats up just a little bit, but it does, like I said, it uses the base, it uses the Xeno'jiiva slash Lunestra style weapon with this, because again, we get the Razor Sharp, but we get to use a couple different items. It gives us a couple different extra throw-in skills. This one relies more on the critical eye instead of the maximum might, so you're more free to play with your charges and stuff like that, so you can go after the weak spots more and more. So you can do your spin to wins a little bit more. Like, this one allows you to play a little bit less safe, which I don't always suggest, but if you're not a very tactical player, and allows you to go around and hit differently than you would have to with the maximum might, and still gives you high critical. This one I believe actually only gives you 95% critical, but again, 95 is still a freaking lot, and allows you to play with a couple different other weapon sets. So this one uses a lot of old. So if you only have a little bit of your Lunestra stuff, you can make the weapon, and then you can still use a bunch of your old stuff. So we're using the Strategist Spectacles Alpha, the Kulvtaroth Ire Alpha, the Valhazak Braces Beta, the Adogeron Quill Beta, and the Dante's Leather Boots Beta. We're using that with the Attack Charm. Temporal Mantle, again, because I like it, not because we actually have a super lot of uses for it, but I still think it's really cool. We don't get any extra masteries or favors in this set. We have the Attack Charm as well, but we have Critical Eye level 7, pushing that critical all the way up to plus 30%, which is absolutely insane. Plus 30%, you already have a base 10% if you're using the Xeno'jiiva mix item. That also gives you the Razor Sharp, so that white sharpness is, like I said, going to last even longer than it would, twice as long as it would. So you don't even need, like I said, this is another set you don't really need handicraft. You can push the handicraft in, but you don't really need it. You have attack boost level 5, so this gives up a little bit of the attack boost, but you still have enough just to push it a little bit over that threshold, and this still doesn't use a lot of attack gems. It only uses 2 as well, because 2 is all I have, so, but this allows you to push it a little bit farther, which is super nice, and you still get that extra affinity boost, which is also awesome as well. You have the crit boost, level 3, with that 95% crit onto weak spots. I mean, it pushes you up to 140% damage, which is absolutely insane in the membrane. Once you get to those numbers, you're seeing a very little difference between the multipliers, and like, you're still doing a lot of damage either way, even if you go from attack boost 5 to attack boost 7. Weakness exploit gives you that 50% affinity when you're hitting those weak spots. You have the stun resist, you have the blast attack level 2. Now this is where this is actually supposed to be blast attack level 3 as well, but I don't have the 3rd blast gem, so that's kind of where this set's missing. You do get peak performance, which grants you extra 5 attack when you're at full health, which again, with the temporal mantle and the vitality mantle, this also comes in super nifty. So if you can push this, if you find a way to push this up anymore, you can have a lot of fun giving yourself extra attack with peak performance as well. And you have Razor Sharp. Why I stuck away with peak performance any higher than this, unless I charmed it in, I would have to use more Val Hazak pieces, and Val Hazak is very fire weak, so you would have very little fire defense against Lunestra, and Lunestra is weak against blast weapons, so these sets are all good to face Lunestra. Lunestra is weak against itself, which is pretty absolutely insane. So that's this set. Let's jump into the decorations on this front a little bit. So we have right up here, this bugs the living crud out of me that I have to use a level 3 slot for a level 1 skill, but I understand this is where that last blast gem would go, pushing my blast even higher. So we would have 3 blast, level 3 blast. We have the tenderizer pushing that up. We have the 2 more blast gems. We have the 3 expert gems. So that's the only super high required in this set. We have the critical jewel and 2 attack gems. So that pushes all those stats pretty darn high. Like I said, these are all weapons that you can use these with any of the new weapons. If you want to use them with the base ones, they actually have more affinity, so you need less critical if you want to go for that critical style build. You get less blast. These ones are, the Xeno'jiiva also gives more blast than both the other ones, which is super nice. And having that Razor Sharp, I just think is amazing. You can go for the Guts route or the Nergigante's Hunger, I think, or whatever the other skill is, the one that heals when you do more damage. So all of these weapons have amazing skills, and I think they're all great. These were all just a bunch of base sets. I'm going to go over more sets for Lunestra in the future, going over a bunch of different other things, but I just kind of want to get these base sets out of the way because these are cool new sets that you can really take advantage of the new weapons and just push the damage even farther and have a lot of fun with the game using those cool new weapons because I think they're super cool. But like I said, if you guys want to submit your own armor sets, you can either submit them down in the comment section down below. You can go down to the description box down below. Check, there's an email address down there, PokeRussSubs@gmail.com. You can submit them over there. And in the description box, you'll also see access to the Discord if you guys want to jump in, talk about Monster Hunter. If you need help with some hunts, if you're into Pokemon, any of the stuff I do on my channel, heading over to the Discord is a great place to meet people that have like views on different things and jump in there and have some fun. So, like I said, hit that like button if you like this kind of content. Make sure, because YouTube's doing all kinds of crazy things, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share this with your friends if this is something you think they'd be interested in. I will see you guys in the next episode. Like I said, we do Pokemon, we do Monster Hunter, and we do Dragon Ball Super TCG mainly on the channel. We do a couple things every once in a while. We're also over on Twitch, so check that out, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a great day. PokeRuss out. Peace.